Machine elves don't like me talking about myself too much, giving you their messages. This video will be a bit personal, as I'll describe my life journey and how the metaphysical world directed me towards my life's goal. This is a story that spans more than 30 years and explains how 434 ended up being a part of your life. It should explain why life is so complicated and why there are so many emotional ups and downs. This is a story of a 25-year-old struggle to discover my purpose here. This is a story of guidance and destiny, and I want you to find analogies between my story and what was, is, or will be going on in your life. I want you to look at your life from the metaphysical point, seeing everything as gifts and support structures, leading to you finding the meaning and your purpose here. It is a story of a restless little boy and his journey leading him to his path, but also it is the history of 434, and this tale is as much about me as it is about you and the reasons why you're here now. And now that you're here, I want to ask you quickly to support me on my further journey of building the structure to introduce the loving messages from the other dimensions to others. If you want to be a part of this journey, please join Patreon or Subscribestar or donate through PayPal or cryptocurrencies. All links are in the video description. You don't need a PayPal account to donate, and joining Patreon and Subscribestar is very easy. Thank you for your generosity and your will to make a difference in my and other people's lives. From the first years here, I knew that something big was supposed to happen with my life. I was born with a sense of mission. I've always been a scurvy elephant, as Wayne Dyer used to call it, a disturbing element and a headache to the status quo. I lived with my family in a poor third-floor studio that my dad turned into a two-bedroom flat. My house was located between glassworks and ironworks in a tiny industrial town with the horizon in every direction filled with coal mine shafts. Seemed like not a good perspective for someone on a spiritual quest. At the end of 1980s, when I was 9, I received my first gift that put me on my path. While walking in a park with my family, I found a wallet filled with cash. There was no documents and nothing else in the wallet, just cash. Enough to buy my long-awaited first computer, a Commodore 64. A computer my family could not have afforded if it wasn't for that gift. I quickly taught myself coding, and within a few years I designed my own operating system and I started advertising and selling it. Right after that, I developed interest in computer graphics and I started creating my first artwork in Art Studio. I became a so-called swapper, which meant exchanging floppy disks through traditional mail, creating a network of people with similar interests. I guess you can say that's what the first internet looked like. I joined some demo groups and I became a graphic designer for them. Around 1993, I did my first graffiti. 2 years later, I started making and selling my own clothes. I developed interest in music production. My dad bought us a simple Casio synthesizer and I started a band with my friend from the second floor. I wasn't even 15 when I became a DJ and I started organizing raves, nightclub events and concerts. I was doing this until I was 30. I started developing my graffiti skills and I started getting paid for painting clubs and shops. At the same time, I started writing essays, stories, poems. I learned to use words like a paintbrush to express artistically what was going on inside of me. I went to high school and I discovered a passion for foreign languages. I spent the next decade learning 6 foreign languages and I can still speak 3 of them semi-fluently to this day. Between 95 and 99, I worked in clubs doing graffiti, DJing, organizing my own house, techno and drum and bass parties, and I got into music production and I had what you could call my first recording studio. That was when we created the 434 techno track that started it all. That was when I discovered weed and had my first almost psychedelic experience. The entities tried getting in contact with me many times during that period, but it seems my brain was too young to receive their messages. It had to wait 17 more years. In '99, I moved to a big city to study graphic design and I started organizing hip-hop concerts for thousands of people nationally. I started working with big established clothing brands and I started designing clothes for them. Soon after that, I started painting, and as soon as eBay was launched online, I opened my first gallery and started selling my manga paintings. After graduation, I spent a year selling records and painting, and in 2005, out of nowhere, I got iritis, an eye infection that almost led to partial blindness. That was another gift that made me realize that I need to live in a Western country with better healthcare system, and I moved to England. Here I started a record label, my own clothing brand, and I kept DJing and organizing parties in London. Throughout the years, I started another gallery and a graffiti designing company while working for global corporations. I spent more and more time online researching UFO, paranormal phenomena, and spirituality. YouTube and social media emerged, and in 2007 I made my first video that got 100,000 views. I started making video clips to my own music, one of which caught the attention of one of the biggest electronic music festivals in Europe back then. Around 2008, my mind started shifting to spirituality. I discovered some really important documentaries and things started getting difficult mentally. It was the beginning of the awakening. In 2010, I decided to concentrate more on myself. I started 2 YouTube channels, a motivational one and one dedicated to DJing. I wrote a book about nutrition and I started working on another one about philosophy, psychology, and the supernatural. I discovered people who helped me be who I am today: Wayne Dyer, Joe Rogan, Louis C.K., and a few others. In 2014, tired of doing so many things simultaneously, I decided to focus only on music and video production, and I started a YouTube channel dedicated to positive news and important social issues. After making a few videos, one of them went viral globally. It got more than 65 million views, and it wasn't a funny cat video. It was an important social issue video that introduced some changes and caught the attention of some important people on top floors of shiny skyscrapers. I realized that what I have to say is important and that my ideas have an impact on people's consciousness. I got on the stage in a New York club and I tried stand-up for the first time in my life. And then 2015 came, the year that changed everything. 2015 was the year I tried psychedelics. After taking mushrooms, I discovered that I can get in contact with entities in another dimension, so-called machine elves. They told me, there is a huge army of good aliens waiting for you to start your work so that we can come to Earth and start changing lives of 7 million people who will proceed with spreading goodness onto others. I had no idea what they meant back then, but they gave me a manual on how to make good videos, so I built a studio and I dedicated the next 3 years to developing my video production skills and being in front of a camera. For 3 years, all I did was making videos and collecting information from the other side. I watched how my videos slowly turned from informational to motivational and then spiritual. After 3 years of chasing after the mighty YouTube algorithm and the enigmatic social media guidelines, absolutely exhausted, I quit everything and I decided to start an online video database of experiences and knowledge from the entities so that I can share them with my family and friends. At the end of November 2018, I uploaded the first 434 video and incredible and unexpected things started happening. The channel suddenly exploded with millions of views and tens of thousands of subscribers, and I finally understood what the entities meant talking about my mission of raising vibrational frequency of millions here. After searching for almost all of my life, I saw what my path looked like here. 434 became my mission. You see, taking care of vibrational frequency of so many people is not an easy job. It requires a lot of tools and a lot of time to learn how to use them. I realized that everything that I learned, experienced, and engaged in led me to my true purpose here, and it took me more than 20 years of trying to get to it. Everything I learned was so that I can give these messages to you and so that I can be in your life. You probably don't realize this, but this simple video you're watching now reached you because I spent years learning video production and editing, sound engineering, graphic design, writing, social media networking, SEO, YouTube algorithm, psychology, sociology, foreign languages, and many others. Each of these took me years to learn and understand through a painful process of trial and error, and back then I had no idea why I'm doing them. They were all pieces of a giant puzzle that came together one day, revealing my destiny here. It was clear that when coming to this world, I was given enough gifts in form of talents and interests to be divided into 4 people and make them successful with them. I explored, failed at, and mastered every one of them. And there's so many other things and passions I had over the years, like skateboarding, bodybuilding, science, and so on. I've never met anyone who tried so many things and failed so many times. Halfway through, I started believing that I'm cursed, that I'm supposed to die trying to achieve anything here. Then it dawned on me that every time I would fail, something happened that allowed me to continue on my path of discovery and development. I was never alone on this journey. Machine elves confirmed later that I was and that I am being taken care of. Everything I was interested in and wanted to learn was a necessary tool that I would use later in my life to build the 434 structure. Videos, music, coding, books, research studies, conferences, clothes, parties, motivational speaking, and who knows what else. All of this became and will become a part of the process, which purpose is to raise your vibrational frequency and that of millions of people. And all of this will be possible as a result of my dedication to interests and passion for things I love and enjoy. All it took was following my inner voice that led me here. From the first moment with the entities, they were very clear about why they're in contact and what it is that I'm supposed to accomplish here. They said, your purpose of life is to help others to get to the place they need to be in. You have to work hard. It's 24 hours and it never stops. It's just an episode in your existence and your progress, but at the moment you're helping others. Creating joy opportunities and satisfaction for others is your goal here. You have to help them expand their life joy spectrum and assist them in maximizing their joy potential. They need to feel good about themselves. That's the goal of it. Your mission of creation here is to make people love you and open up channels between you that will allow them to open to love in themselves. Your job is to show people what is love and that it is possible. Spreading love, acting as an example is your only job here. You have to be the definition of love for others. Giving happiness and inspiration to others is where your life goal is. Turn everything around and gear your life towards that. Your job here is to elevate everyone's vibrational frequency through spreading joy and happiness through your videos. If invited by them, your job will be creating new roads and new possibilities for their movement. I was extremely lucky because my purpose in this reality was explained to me, and not only was I told about what my life's about, but I also had a chance to see my true form in my dimension of origin. My energy form is a diamond filled with energy made of good deeds, but I originally came from a dimension of strong warriors and protectors. Machine elves called us shields, and they said that we travel to other dimensions to take care of their inhabitants. This will become evident in a video soon about the power we all have here, but for now I can tell you what they explained to me. They said, don't forget that you're the shield, the protector, because everything good you have in your life exists because of that. You should direct your energy in places where people want you to take care of them. Your role in this world is to protect others from negativity and to help them by giving the enormous amount of love you collect while deflecting the negativity yourself. Protect what's inside the human being, the core, not the vessel. See them as beings, not as humans. Identify the needs and fears and address them. Fix it, make it better. Being a support structure is your job. It has been a beautiful journey, full of love, joy and hope, and I'm sure I have not reached my destination yet. I was only shown my destiny, and thanks to this, I can clearly see my path now. It is just the beginning. All the events in my life led me to this one little moment in life back in 2015, sitting closed in my office watching Joe Rogan Experience episode number 470 and deciding it is time for me to try psychedelics. All of my horrible office jobs, all my failures and sleepless nights, all of this became a support structure that allowed me to make that one important decision that led to me accessing the outer dimension and receiving life-changing messages for people in this dimension. It let me discover you, a huge number of like-minded people on the same journey as me, looking for the same answers. Who would have thought that every single event and moment in my life will lead to us getting to this small time compartment where you listen to my voice now? A path of a little boy from a remote coal mine town who came into your life. A crazy path that allowed for us to meet here and now. A path that allowed us to have this short, precious moment to exchange all the necessary information for our next journey between dimensions. We're always guided. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Everything in life leads you somewhere. Your path might be very difficult or simple. It doesn't need to take 20 years. It is usually not visible, and the hand that leads you is not visible. You might need to take many turns. You'll have to get lost many times and put a lot of effort into not giving up. But at some point, you'll start seeing clearly that the energy and your higher self gently push you in the right direction. Make sure that you let them do it. Open yourself up to the energy and your higher self and let them take you places. Ask for help and guidance. The entities, the energy, spirits, 434, whatever you call it, they always listen and they're always ready to help. Introduce harmony into your life to hear the voice that will be guiding you. Do not give up. Gain psychedelic insight. Ask those questions. Remember, you're never lost. There are no tests you can fail, and all of your pain is necessary. It might take a year. It might take your whole life. You pick tasks and lessons to learn here, and you might not know what they are until your departure. Be ready to fall and stand up again and again. Do it all anyway. Love, 434. We have a lot of work to do here, and the mission we're on together will require all of us to change the way we think about ourselves. I'll take care of this in 1 week, and for now I'd want to ask you to help me with the financial side of the 434 structure. It will not grow without your generosity. Patreon, PayPal, Subscribestar, or cryptocurrencies. All links in the video description. Share this video, join my second YouTube channel, and join all other social media. There is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, VK, BitChute, and if you need to chat with other 434 members, go to Reddit and Discord. If you're on YouTube, tap the notification bell and visit the websites of Dyer and The Intangible, whose graphics and music I used in this video. All links below.